In a small village nestled at the foot of ancient mountains, there lived a radiant woman named Zola. Her soul was as boundless as the horizon, and her kindness flowed like an eternal river. The villagers admired Zola not only for her gentle nature, but also for the joy she brought. Like sunlight breaking through after a stormy night, she could soothe a crying infant with a single glance and brighten the darkest days simply with her presence. Yet, beneath her serene exterior, Zola carried a quiet sorrow. Her greatest dream was to hear the laughter of her own child. She longed for a daughter to love, teach, and hold close. Often, she would sit beneath an ancient bamboo tree in the village square, watching children at play while her heart whispered its deepest wish. One day, an elderly woman approached her and asked, "My child, why do you sit here every day, watching the little ones?" With tears in her eyes, Zola replied, "I have been married for many years, yet I have no child of my own." The old woman sighed and shared a legend. Deep within the forest grew a magical tree, older than the eldest villager and taller than the highest mountain. Known as the wishing tree, it had the power to grant even the most heartfelt desires. At dawn, when the dew murmured secrets to the earth, Zola set out to find the tree. She walked beneath the canopy of towering trees, following the songs of birds, until she stood before the majestic wishing tree. Its shimmering leaves sparkled like 1,000 stars. With hope in her voice, Zola said, "O wishing tree, hear my greatest desire. I wish for a daughter whose beauty will illuminate the entire village." Overwhelmed with emotion, she forgot to ask for her child to be kind and honest. The tree listened, its leaves rustling gently, and a warm light surrounded Zola, filling her with a sense of magic. She returned to the village, her heart brimming with gratitude, unaware that her wish had only been partially granted. In time, Zola's dream came true. She gave birth to a daughter she named Malaika. Malaika was extraordinarily beautiful. Her eyes sparkled like the sky after a storm, and her smile bloomed like the first flower of spring. The village celebrated, for Zola's joy was their joy. Everyone agreed they had never seen such a stunning child. Zola's heart swelled with pride, but as Malaika grew, so did Zola's worries. Malaika's beauty was undeniable. She became the loveliest girl in the village. But her behavior was troubling. She was mischievous and often stole ripe fruit, told tall tales, and took what wasn't hers. Worse still, she laughed at the sadness her actions caused. Zola tried to teach her kindness and honesty, but Malaika seemed deaf to her words. She spent her days admiring her reflection in the river and inventing ways to avoid responsibilities. The villagers began to whisper, and Zola's heart grew heavy, like a storm cloud on the verge of bursting. Malaika was her precious gift, yet her actions felt like a curse. As Malaika blossomed into a breathtaking young woman, her grace became akin to the first rays of dawn, but her heart remained cold, and honesty eluded her. Her beauty became a flickering lantern, drawing attention but bringing no warmth. Her charm, instead of spreading joy, brought sorrow. She ventured into shadowy corners of life, where whispers and coins exchanged hands, and her choices brought tears to her mother's eyes. Zola tried everything, words, prayers, and patience, but guiding Malaika was like trying to hold water in her palms. One day, a prince from a distant kingdom arrived in the village. His gaze fell upon Malaika, and he couldn't look away. Her cascading hair, radiant smile, and melodious laughter captivated him. He didn't see the pain she caused or the troubles that followed her like a shadow. Blinded by her beauty, he asked for her hand in marriage, promising a life of luxury within palace walls. Zola's tears were not of joy but of fear. Would the prince see Malaika's true self? Could his love change her path? Malaika accepted, her eyes reflecting dreams of gold rather than love. Zola felt a glimmer of hope, like the lone star in the night sky. Perhaps she thought this was the answer to her unspoken wish. But in the prince's kingdom, behind the glimmer of a new life, Malaika's old habits clung to her like vines in a dense forest. One moonlit night, she slipped away from the prince's side to meet a palace guard whose lingering glances she had often noticed. Their laughter, soft as a breeze, carried the weight of betrayal. By morning, the prince's heart, shattered like glass, could no longer bear the sight of Malaika. The palace, once a promise of happiness, turned its back on her. With her head bowed under the weight of shame, Malaika returned to her village. Zola's sorrow flowed like a river that could not be stopped. Once again, she made her way to the ancient wishing tree, her feet instinctively finding the familiar path. Standing beneath its sprawling branches, she wept. "Why?" she cried out. "I asked for a daughter, and yet you gave me only sorrow." The tree, eternal and wise, rustled its leaves, and its voice came on the wind. "You asked for beauty," it replied, "but you did not wait for the blessing to become whole." "Oh, wise tree," Zola pleaded, "I asked for beauty, but my daughter's heart has lost its way. Is there hope for her?" The baobab's leaves shimmered, catching the golden light, and its voice resonated like the heartbeat of the earth. "To mend what is broken, a sacrifice must be made. Tomorrow must be given for today to begin anew." Zola did not hesitate. Her love for Malaika surpassed any fear. "I accept," she said firmly. The tree's light enveloped her as she stepped forward. Memories of Malaika's laughter as a child, the warmth of her embrace, and the dreams Zola had held for her daughter filled her mind. "To make Malaika's heart true, I offer my own," Zola whispered, surrendering herself to the light. In her place, a vibrant flower bloomed at the base of the baobab, its petals the color of dawn, a mother's love made tangible. The forest stilled, and all living creatures bowed before the weight of her sacrifice. Spirits whispered among the leaves, spreading the story of a mother who gave everything for her child. When Malaika woke the next morning, something had shifted. The village was silent, and the air carried unspoken grief. She searched for Zola, but found only an empty house and a silence that pressed heavily on her heart. Days later, her footsteps led her to the baobab, where the villagers shared the tale of Zola's ultimate sacrifice. Malaika's gaze fell on the flower, and for the first time, her heart felt the sting of regret. She sat beneath the tree, where her mother's love had first given her life. Her beauty, once a shield, now felt like an empty shell. She thought of Zola's smile, her gentle hands, and the sacrifices made from unconditional love. Looking inward, Malaika saw not her reflection's perfection, but the truth of her actions. The lies, the selfishness, and the pain she had caused. Her transformation did not happen overnight, but day by day, Malaika worked to honor her mother's sacrifice. She became the daughter Zola had always dreamed of, one with a heart as radiant as her face. Malaika began to change in ways no one expected. Once known for her beauty and condemned for her selfishness, her journey toward redemption became a symbol of hope. She sowed kindness in every action, helping neighbors, caring for children, and supporting the elderly. Like parched earth blooming after the first rains, Malaika's transformation was nothing short of miraculous. Her beauty, once superficial, now reflected the warmth of her soul and the generosity of her heart. The villagers noticed the change. Kamari, the son of the wealthiest merchant, saw in her not just her luminous smile, but the strength of her character. He admired her care for the needy and the sincerity of her laughter, which now carried joy instead of vanity. Their love grew not from fleeting attraction, but from shared values, mutual respect, and tender moments. When Malaika and Kamari married, it was more than a union of two hearts. It was a celebration of growth, forgiveness, and the power of love. The villagers, who once doubted Malaika, now saw her as a symbol of hope and integrity. Her transformation was a testament to the enduring power of her late mother, Zola, whose sacrifice had set this journey in motion. The story of Zola and Malaika was passed down from generation to generation as a tale not only of beauty, but of patience, virtue, and the boundless strength of a mother's love. Zola's legacy lived on through Malaika's actions, a legacy that turned an incomplete wish into a blessing for the entire community. This tale carried a profound lesson. True beauty lies in kindness and character, and a mother's love has the power to heal and transform. It also served as a reminder to be thoughtful with one's wishes, for Zola's experience showed that an unfulfilled wish could bring as much sorrow as joy. If this story has touched you, don't forget to share its wisdom with others. Such stories deserve to live on forever.